this cab. Wow, that's a nice seat too. Okay.
Plus, we keep one of every model in stock that is only for robbing parts from. That keeps us out of trouble with parts.
In the United States, though?
Yes, sir.
And we're the 5th largest heavy construction company in the world.
So you guys actually build buildings, roads, bridges,
Exactly.
infrastructure, and you created your own line of heavy equipment?
Yes.
That's freaking insane.
Yes.
Are you guys insane?
This is the best kept secret in the United States, and that's why I'm here. You know, we're an American company.
You're going for the cat jugular, aren't you?
I am. Yes.
You want to take them down.
They're way overpriced for the service they're giving.
So these are not considered a gray iron machine, but is there a considerable cost savings because we've got Cat, we've got Volvo, we've got John Deere, we've got all these established name brands that these guys grew up with, their grandpas grew up with. Why would they go with the Lugar?
So, Schwing GmbH.
Yeah, cut it
is,
out. You better talk to Tom.
All right, guys, we're at the World of Concrete today, and we're going to be touring the facility, the North Hall, South Hall, Central Hall, going outside and looking for the most obscure heavy equipment brands that are out there that you may not have seen yet. We're talking about names like Lugar, Sanyo, XCMG, and all of these names may not make any sense to you right now, but did the name Doosan, Daewoo, Mitsubishi, did any of those names not sound familiar to you a while ago? Because they came to the market and then they took over, and now they're pretty much standard. And we're going to be looking at new equipment that you may not have seen before, but you may be seeing a lot of in the future. I don't even know what name brand this is. I've never heard of this. Where are you guys out of?
Sorry?
Well, I've never heard of this name.
It's an Italian brand.
It's Italian brand?
Absolutely.
How do you say it?
Sorry?
Venieri.
Venieri?
Yeah.
Do you guys have distributors in the United States?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if guys wanted to, check out this brand, what would they do? I mean, do you have a website? Tell me a
Yeah,
little bit
absolutely.
about it.
You go to Applied Machinery or AppliedMech.com, AMS.com, and you can look up stuff there. Or you could just type in, if you really wanted to, type in the product name, Venieri or Merlot.
All right, let's go up in the cab of the Venier. This is actually probably one of the nicer cabs, you guys. Look at this cab. Wow, that's a nice seat too. Is that? Oh, that's plastic. Looks like leather. I don't know. What do you guys think of this cab? It looks like leather, but it's actually plastic, which would make it easier to clean for sure. So let's go see how this one looks. Hey, can I ask you a question? I kind of forgot to ask
go
you.
ahead.
I forgot to ask you earlier. Price points.
Price points.
How are the price points on this equipment in comparison to the equipment that the guys would, they're familiar with, like the John Deeres and the New
Very
Hollands and
compatible. If not, we'll beat them.
well, you should beat them because, let's be straightforward. If I'm going to buy a Cat for the same price as an Italian name brand that I've never heard before,
Right.
Cat wins every single time.
Right, because of a recognizable name, of
And
course.
service and,
Right.
parts interchangeability. I'm not
Sure.
going to worry about, little things like the lug nuts on the
Right.
machine. That's an Italian lug nut on
Right.
that machine. Can I go down to my local store and get that Italian lug nut, or am I going to go on a search for that?
Stand. Right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. You're probably going to end up on a search for it, but we keep 12 million in parts in stock at all times.
Okay.
Plus, we keep one of every model in stock that is only for robbing parts from. That keeps us out of trouble with parts.
In the United States?
Yes,
though?
sir. Yep.
In the United States. So you have one of these set up that if anybody needs the rear glass, you'd actually take the rear glass out of that if the person needed it.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think that's good. I don't want my parts pulled off from a different machine, and if I'm in Minnesota and that machine's in California, and then some guy's got to go out to the machine, then he's got to pull the part off from the machine, then he's got to transfer it over to me. I'm going to be waiting for weeks on a part. It's just the way I view it. I love the fact that, I've just bought my first Cat, and I absolutely love the fact that I can go down to my Cat dealer and walk out with whatever I need. It's just one of those nice perks. Yeah, I pay for it. I pay for it. But also that machine pays for itself. Then that machine's working. And every single hour that machine's working, it's more than paying for that extra bonus and service. That's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think of that? I've never heard of robbing a machine to get parts. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, what?
Right. So if you look at these machines, they look a lot like the Case machines. CASE, Case. Everybody knows Case, right?
Yeah.
So these machines pretty much are Case. They used to build for Case. They outsourced for Case. So they got so good at building the machines themselves, they no longer built for Case. They put their own name on it, and they came out with their own product. And this is what
Even on your bigger loader, you have the side-to-side boom. Now, is that a mechanical side-to-side boom or
it's
hydraulic?
Yeah, that's hydraulic. We had the option to get mechanical. In the U.S., we're only bringing in the hydraulics because nobody really wants it.
So they can slide the whole boom system over. Now, on the smaller unit, that's
Same
mechanical.
thing. No, there's a hydraulic one. There is. It's a little bit hidden. That one's hidden in that upper channel.
Now JCB has a similar design, but those are mechanical, meaning you have to physically push the boom from side to side. These are hydraulic driven.
All right. Well, there you go. And that's how do you say it?
Veneri.
Veneri. All right. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
your time,
Thank
Brian.
you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys, is this your booth? Is this your booth?
Yes, it's ours.
What? I've never heard of this brand. How do you even say it?
XCMG. Just the letters.
XCMG.
XCMG.
Who makes them?
It's our company. We're based out of China,
Okay.
and we're the 5th largest heavy construction company in the world. And we've been doing business in the United States for more than 30 years now.
So wait a minute. When you say you're the 5th largest heavy construction equipment in the world, are you talking about reseller of heavy equipment?
No, as in reseller or use of equipment in the world.
Use of equipment. So
Yes.
you guys actually build buildings, roads, bridges,
Exactly.
infrastructure, and you created your own line of heavy equipment?
Yes.
That's freaking insane.
Yes.
Are you guys insane?
This is crazy. So this looks like a Hyundai though.
Is this basic? And this one looks like, what is this one? Will you guys tell me in the comments down below what this one looks like? I don't know. I can't recognize.
This
the
is
name.
Dennis Smith. He's our VP
Hi,
of sales,
Dennis.
and this is the product line that he's showing you right now with regards to what
You
we
guys
all
build
make.
all this.
Yes, we do.
And there's also another side of the page as well.
Hold that.
Under the XCMG name?
Yes.
Why have I mean, I'm in heavy equipment. Why have I never heard of XCMG?
This is the best kept secret in the United States, and that's why I'm here.
And
To
let me also give
make
you
sure that
our
secret
card.
gets
My name's
out.
AJ, and this is Dennis.
Okay.
I've set up the marketing and distribution for no less than 7 offshore companies, and one of them is Hyundai, the other one's Doosan, the other one it would be Mitsubishi, which is now Caterpillar, and now I'm here to take this machine from being secret to be a household name.
Well, who builds them for you? Because it looks like you're using off somebody else's platform, right?
X is Shujo Construction Machinery Group. That's who builds all of this.
You actually build them in-house.
We build all of
yourself.
this in China.
I mean, because like Volvo builds equipment for other people. JCB builds skid loaders for Volvo, right? I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get how I've never known.
We just signed an agreement where we're going to start assembly of the machines here in the United States. So it's going to be assembled in the United States, and in the very near future, I'm going to have a factory where it's going to be built in the United States. Not like Caterpillar that has 28 factories in China and another 30 in Japan, and then they say everything's built in. We're an American company.
You're going for the cat jugular, aren't you?
I am. Yes.
You want to take them down, huh?
Well, I don't want to take them down. I want a piece of the pie, and I know the pie that I'm going to take from them is the one where they're way overpriced for the service they're giving.
But they have such an amazing service distribution.
I know they do. I know, but you can't eat an elephant with one bite.
You eat an elephant one bite at a time.
So Dennis, this guy I'm talking to said that this XCMG group actually owns a company called Schwing, SCHWING, which is absolutely a massive concrete pumping company. I mean, they do a lot more stuff. You guys probably know who Schwing is. So I wanted to find out if this dude was pulling my chain. So I went to the Schwing booth and I asked about the XCMG guys, and I couldn't get anybody to go on camera and confirm or deny their relationship. But something that I seen in between the lines kind of told me the whole story. When I walked into the Schwing booth and asked about it, I saw all these guys, and I hope I catch it on camera, where they're like, yeah, but then they stop themselves and they got to go check with the higher powers if they can admit this. And I hate when companies do this BS kind of crap. Just say yes or no. We're connected or we're not connected. So watch the guys around me as I ask the question and tell me what you guys think of how they interact. I couldn't get a straight answer out of them. I just couldn't do it.
Real quick, 'cause I just have a very simple, straightforward question. Schwing's been around how long? Do you guys know they've been in the industry?
1934.
Yep, 1934.
1934.
Yep.
Now there's a company over in the corner called XCMG. Are you familiar with them? Why are you familiar with them?
So, Schwing GmbH.
Yeah, cut it
is
off. Cut it off.
You better talk to Tom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But they told me that they owned Schwing, or Schwing owns them, or something. There's like this, and I just want to make sure that they do, because I don't know. It seems like,
Yeah, I mean,
We better let somebody else.
what is Tom around, or whoever the guy that can answer that around?
So to cut to the quick, I never did find out because they could never find the right person, I'm air quoting, to answer my question. Mystery unsolved.
Okay, so how do you pronounce this?
Lugar.
Lugar. Can you tell me anything about the company? I know nothing about Lugar.
Absolutely. Lugar is so all the machines are they're assembled in China,
Okay.
but they're not necessarily built in China. They're world-class components. So all of the bigger excavators and wheel loaders, and we also own the Dresda dozer line, which is a European
own
brand.
Dresda?
Yep. So that's part of it. That's our dozer line. But all the power plants are Cummins Tier 4 final engines. So powered by Cummins, Rexroth pumps, ZF drives and transmissions. Kawasaki hydraulic valve, so kind of world-class components that have all come together. So a lot of people find comfort in that they can get parts, service, and support for all of those major components because a lot of manufacturers use them. So the Dresda brand.
How does Lugan compare in price then? I mean, why would let me ask you something. Why would a guy want is this considered a gray iron machine?
Nope.
Josh?
Nope. No, sir. They are Tier 4 final.
I'm Stan, by the way.
Stan, nice to meet you, Stan.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks.
So these are not considered a gray iron machine, but is there a considerable cost savings? Because we've got Cat, we've got Volvo, we've got John Deere, we've got all these established name brands that these guys grew up with, their grandpas grew up with. Why would they go with the Lugan?
Because, it is a saturated market with a lot of different manufacturers. There's cost savings being an imported machine. There's some labor costs that are avoided by being, assembled in China and things like that, even with the tariffs and stuff like that.
So question, like on a typical machine, is it a 10, 20%
I think
savings?
you would probably see probably in the 20% range cost of ownership out the door. The fuel efficiencies and all that stuff tend to be pretty competitive in the industry. So
I'm going to say they got to be if you're running Cummins and you're running Kawasaki and you're running all of the standard interchangeable parts that the other guys are running. You're really just building the frame and how you stick them together.
Yep.
And then some of the vital components which can add up and nickel and dime a guy would make me a little bit worried. I mean, are any of these components your own proprietary components?
Yeah, so forged sticks on the engineering on the boom and stick are very much a Lugan thing. I wouldn't say that they're much different than the industry standards, except they tend to over-engineer a little bit, so they're well built. The strength, just the steel and stuff. Whereas some of the other kind of overseas brands tend to make them as light as they can.
I mean, I love simpler machines, Josh. So when it comes to like bells and whistles, I'm not that kind of a guy. I just want a machine that every time it goes into the dirt, it pulls out dollar bills. That's all I care about, right?
Yep.
And that's all right, guys. In the comments down below, what machine does that look like? I don't know. What skid loader that?
You think you could operate one of those?
think
Oh, well, good
most of
call.
these machines, if you pulled the
Already
decals
hard.
off the side and you talked about what they're built out of, yeah, you would.
So talk
not
to
sure.
me about what this is built out of, Josh.
Oh, just this one has a
machine.
Perkins machine, Perkins engine in it, auxiliary hydraulics, comes with a 3/4 of a yard bucket. This is in a test market right now. There's only 5 or 6 of these in the U.S. getting field followed by us to get some feedback because they've been making them, but there's going to be some design changes just based on the feedback we received from our users in the field for this year. So I'd expect to see this go in full production and launched out into the North American market by the end of this year.
All right, guys. So I'm with Josh. Sanyi?
Sani.
And
Actually, in China, though, it is Sanyi, but yeah, here in the States, it's just Sani.
So can you walk me through? I know nothing about this company.
Yeah, sure. So we are a Chinese-based company. We actually have a facility in Peachtree City, Georgia, which is just south of Atlanta. Got a large manufacturing plant, so we're actually starting to produce machines in Peachtree City, Georgia. We run 3 different engines in our units.
Okay.
We run Yanmar and predominantly most of our minis. Like in this 135 over here, we've got two models that we run and a Suzu in. And then when we move into our larger models, like the 215 right here, we run into Cummins power plant.
So Cummins, Yanmar, Isuzu.
Right?
Okay. How about the other components on the machine?
Yeah, so that's our whole thing, is it's all familiar components. So you'll run into Kawasaki pumps, Rexroth, it's all components that you're very, very familiar with, easily sourceable here in the U.S. One thing that's interesting and unique to Sani is we come with the industry's best warranty. We are a 5-year, 5,000-hour warranty across the board on all of our machines.
On everything you guys?
On everything we produce.
What do you produce?
So we do excavators here in the States right now. At ConExpo, we'll be launching motor graders, we'll be launching rollers. We already have a 4-yard wheel loader, and we'll be launching our 3-yard wheel loader.
How about skid loader? No?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not
Oh,
yet.
You hesitate.
No, nothing yet.
I'm not saying he knows something. He knows something. I think he knows something. Price what point? Why would a guy want to buy one of these brands that he's not familiar with when he can get something that he is familiar with?
Yeah, sure. So really with this machine, I go back to, it's the only thing you're not familiar with is the name on the side of the machine, right?
And the service dealer, right? I mean, because
Could
you
be.
can buy the components, but I'll tell you what, I go buy a Cummins engine, I'm not going to be able to throw that in.
Right.
I would just look at it scratching my head. So do you have actually guys that can fix these things from start to finish?
Yes, we do. So right now, as we stand today, we have about 35 dealers across the country with right at 100 locations. Trying to add to that to that list daily, right? So just trying to make sure that we grow our market as well. And that's part of the requirements as any dealer, right? We have to have good servicing dealers, all service trucks, mechanics that are trained to the Sani product. So the whole borderline, nothing any different than you're used to in the past. So across the board, we're about 20% less.
20% on average?
On average.
On average.
From top to bottom.
On every piece of equipment you sell? Okay. With a 5-year, 5,000.
5-year, 5,000-hour warranty. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is a brand new loader too, right?
Yes, brand new cast.
This is. Are there even any in the United States yet?
Loaders? Yeah, we have lots of loaders in the U.S.
Oh, you do? I thought
we've
you
been
guys were one of
importing
the.
them for about 2.5 years now.
I thought you guys were the first
What?
to import these.
We're the only ones importing them.
Okay, so I got that part right. Tell me about the loader.
It's a cast 33 TLX carbon edition. It's a compact articulating loader, weighs 3,000 pounds. Currently configured with the counterweights of the Lift 2400.
So why would they want this over the multi-quip or one of the other ones? What's the advantages to this?
Benefits, all steel construction, U.S. universal mini plate, U.S. half-inch flat face couplers. We also offer the largest tire in class at 14 inches wide. Most of the competition only has 12-inch wide tires.
Where's this built?
This is built in Italy.
And what happens when it breaks in Minnesota?
You call me and I fix it.
What happens if it breaks in Michigan?
Call me and I send parts and get you hooked up with someone who can fix it.
Okay, are there service centers around the nation?
We are currently looking for dealers. We have about 10 dealers across the country right now.
Well, how do guys find you? If they want this loader or more information, how would they find you?
TNEdistributing.com.
All right, you guys. Well, that's all we got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. I actually thought it was pretty interesting to make. But do me a couple favors. Check out the 2 videos I'm going to pop up on the screen here for you. And then one last thing, you guys. God bless and go get them. Just have an awesome, amazing day. And we will catch you on the next one. Oh, and you know there's that one bell notification thing? I'm supposed to tell you to hit that. See you next time, guys.